Welcome to Elderly Wise Living. If you're over 60 and you've noticed that conversations about intimacy seem to vanish the moment you enter the room, you're not imagining it. In 2025, we're living longer than ever, yet society still whispers about one of the most natural parts of being human. Maybe you felt dismissed by doctors, ignored in media, or even judged by your own family when the topic comes up. Perhaps you've wondered if desire itself is something you're supposed to outgrow. But here's the truth no one's telling you. Millions of seniors are rediscovering connection, pleasure, and closeness in ways that defy every outdated stereotype. And today, you're about to learn how. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through something most health professionals won't discuss openly, but should. First, I'll expose the 3 dangerous myths about intimacy after 60 that even well-meaning doctors still believe. Myths that might be holding you back from experiencing joy and connection. Then, I'll reveal 2 surprising health benefits of maintaining intimacy in your senior years that go far beyond what happens in the bedroom. We're talking about your heart, your brain, and even your longevity. And finally, I'll share one powerful mindset shift that has helped countless individuals over 60 reclaim not just their intimate lives, but their entire sense of vitality and self-worth. This isn't about pressure or performance. It's about understanding that you deserve connection, touch, and closeness at every stage of life. Whether you're in a long-term relationship, dating again after loss, or simply wanting to feel more comfortable in your own skin, what you're about to discover could change how you see yourself and your future. So stay with me, because this conversation might be exactly what you've been waiting for. Let's talk about what no one else will. You've probably noticed how Hollywood stops casting romantic leads over 50. How greeting cards joke about aging bodies instead of celebrating them. How even your own children might change the subject when love or attraction comes up. You look in the mirror and see changes. Softer skin, different shapes, scars from surgeries or life itself, and wonder if you're still desirable. Maybe you've experienced the loss of a spouse and can't imagine opening your heart again. Or perhaps you've been with the same partner for 40 years, and somewhere along the way you stopped reaching for each other. The silence grew comfortable, but also lonely. And here's what makes it harder. A groundbreaking 2025 report from the National Institute on Aging found that nearly 73% of adults over 65 still desire physical and emotional intimacy, yet less than half feel comfortable discussing it with anyone, including their doctors. You might have medical concerns. Medications that change things, conditions that make you hesitant, or simply the fear of rejection or awkwardness. But here's what I need you to hear. You're not alone in this, and what you're feeling matters more than you think. Your need for connection, for touch, for feeling seen, it doesn't have an expiration date. Let me tell you about Diane and Carl. They'd been married for 42 years when I first heard their story. Both in their late 60s, they had raised 3 children, built a life together, weathered storms. But somewhere in the routine of doctor's appointments, grandchildren's birthdays, and separate hobbies, they had become roommates instead of lovers. They still cared for each other deeply, but the spark felt like a distant memory. Diane confessed she felt invisible, not just to the world, but to the man sleeping beside her every night. Carl, on the other hand, assumed Diane had simply lost interest, and he didn't want to burden her with his own feelings of inadequacy after a heart procedure left him feeling less confident. They existed in parallel lives under the same roof, each silently grieving what they thought was gone forever. Then one evening, during a rare power outage, they sat together by candlelight with nothing but time and silence. No television, no distractions, and in that vulnerability, Diane finally said the words she'd been holding for years. "Do you still find me beautiful?" What happened next wasn't fireworks or a Hollywood moment. It was something far more powerful. It was honesty. Carl reached across the table, took her hand, and with tears in his eyes, said he'd been afraid to even try. That single conversation opened a door they thought had been locked forever. So what changed everything for them after that night? What did they do to rebuild not just intimacy, but genuine connection? Keep watching, because what they discovered might surprise you. Now let's get into what actually works. Real, practical steps that honor where you are right now while opening doors you thought were closed. These aren't theories. They're approaches that have helped thousands of seniors reclaim joy, connection, and yes, intimacy. Step 1. Understand what changes physically after 60, and what doesn't. Here's the truth. Your body does change, but it doesn't stop working. For women, menopause brings lower estrogen levels, which can mean vaginal dryness, thinner tissue, and sometimes discomfort. For men, testosterone gradually declines, which might affect arousal speed or firmness. Blood flow changes. Medications for blood pressure, diabetes, or depression can have side effects. But here's what doesn't change. Your capacity for pleasure, your nerve endings, your ability to experience closeness and release. In fact, many seniors report deeper satisfaction because the pressure of performance fades and the focus shifts to genuine connection. Your body isn't broken, it's evolved. It's asking you to be more intentional, more present, and more creative. Think of it like learning to dance in a new way. The music hasn't stopped. The rhythm has just changed. And honestly, some people find this stage far more fulfilling because it's no longer about proving anything. It's about experiencing everything. Have you noticed these changes in yourself? And have you given yourself permission to adapt rather than retreat? Step 2. Open, honest communication with your partner or yourself about needs and boundaries. This is where most people get stuck, and I understand why. Talking about intimacy feels vulnerable, especially after years of silence or assumption. But avoidance creates distance, and distance creates loneliness. If you're in a relationship, you need to create a safe space for this conversation. Not in the heat of a moment, but in a calm, private setting. Try starting with something like, "I've been thinking about us and I miss feeling close to you. Can we talk about what that might look like now?" Or, "I know things have changed for both of us. What would make you feel loved and connected?" If your partner has health concerns, ask, "What feels good to you now? What should we explore together?" The goal isn't to solve everything in one talk. It's to open the door. And if you're single or widowed, this conversation happens with yourself. Ask, "What do I need to feel whole? What would bring me joy?" Write it down. Honor it. You deserve to know your own heart. Many people find that simply naming their desires, out loud or on paper, removes the shame and replaces it with clarity. Would you be willing to start this conversation this week, even if it feels uncomfortable at first? Step 3. Explore non-physical forms of intimacy. Touch, presence, shared rituals. Intimacy is so much bigger than what happens in a bedroom. In fact, some of the most profound connections happen fully clothed. Start with touch that has no agenda. Holding hands during a walk, a long hug in the kitchen, a gentle shoulder massage while watching the sunset, running your fingers through your partner's hair. These moments build trust and warmth. Create rituals that belong only to the two of you. Morning coffee together without phones, dancing in the living room to an old favorite song, reading poetry aloud, taking baths together, or simply lying side by side and talking about dreams you still have. Presence is intimacy. Eye contact is intimacy. Laughter is intimacy. For those who are single, this step is about reconnecting with your own body and spirit. Taking yourself on dates, enjoying a long bath with candles, dressing in something that makes you feel beautiful, practicing self-touch with kindness and curiosity. You're teaching yourself that you're still worthy of tenderness. One woman I know started a ritual of writing love letters to herself every Sunday. It transformed how she saw her own value. Another couple began a nightly practice of sharing 3 things they appreciated about each other before bed. Small acts, but they rebuilt everything. What's one ritual you could start today that would make you feel more connected? To a partner or to yourself? Step 4. Consult healthcare providers without shame. Explore practical options. This is critical, and I need you to hear me. There is no shame in asking for help. Your doctor has heard it all, and if they make you feel embarrassed, find a new doctor. Start by scheduling a wellness check and saying, "I'd like to talk about maintaining a healthy, intimate life. What options are available for someone my age?" For women, vaginal estrogen therapy, moisturizers, and water-based lubricants can make a world of difference and are safe for most people. For men, medications like sildenafil or tadalafil are widely used and effective, but always under medical supervision, especially if you have heart conditions. Pelvic floor therapy helps both men and women with muscle tone, control, and comfort. Hormone replacement therapy might be an option depending on your health history. And don't overlook the power of counseling. Sex therapists and couples counselors specialize in helping seniors navigate these exact challenges. They provide tools for communication, techniques for physical comfort, and emotional support. Some people also benefit from simply adjusting medication timing or switching prescriptions that interfere with desire. The point is, solutions exist. You don't have to suffer in silence or assume this part of your life is over. Advocacy for your own well-being is an act of self-love. So here's my question. If you could ask your doctor one thing without fear of judgment, what would it be? So what happened to Diane and Carl after that candlelit conversation? They didn't become different people overnight. They didn't suddenly turn back the clock. But they did something far more meaningful. They chose each other again. They started small. Morning kisses that lingered a few seconds longer. Holding hands during their evening walks. Carl began leaving little notes in Diane's crossword book. Just simple words. "You're still my favorite person." Diane started wearing the perfume Carl loved. Not for anyone else, but because it made her feel alive again. They scheduled date nights at home. Cooking together, slow dancing in the kitchen, talking about dreams they'd set aside. And yes, physical intimacy returned, but not in the way it used to be. It was slower, gentler, filled with laughter when things didn't go as planned, and saturated with a kind of gratitude they'd never felt in their younger years. Diane said something beautiful. It wasn't about performance anymore, it was about presence. About truly seeing each other. That's the heart of wise living, isn't it? Understanding that vitality doesn't come from chasing youth. It comes from honoring where you are right now. Staying connected to yourself, to your body, to the people you love. That's not indulgence. That's survival. That's what keeps your heart beating with purpose. You've earned the right to feel desired, to feel pleasure, to feel fully human. And when you embrace that truth, everything shifts. You walk taller. You smile more freely. You stop apologizing for taking up space in a world that needs your warmth. Here's what I want you to remember. Intimacy doesn't retire when you do. Your heart, your body, your need for connection, they're still yours to honor, protect, and celebrate. Age doesn't diminish your worth or your right to feel loved, desired, and whole. If this message resonated with you today, please hit that like button. It helps us reach more people who need to hear this. And if you know someone who's struggling with feeling invisible or disconnected, share this video with them. Sometimes one conversation can change everything. Next, I'm covering something equally important. How to cope with loneliness and rebuild your life after losing a partner. It's raw, it's real, and it might be exactly what you or someone you love needs right now. Click here to watch it next. Until then, keep living wisely, keep loving bravely, and never forget, you are still here, still vital, still deserving of every beautiful thing life has to offer.